What's up, guys? Welcome to BookWorm. Got my book, I got my notes. Let's get started. We left off in our last video. We had just reviewed Jerry Weintraub's book. Today we're going to be reviewing Screw It, Let's Do It. This is a book by Richard Branson. Awesome book, pretty short book, pretty easy read. Could read it in a couple hours probably, maybe less. But awesome book. I've got my notes, so here we go. So Richard Branson, who is this guy? So a lot of people know him, a lot of people don't. So he's, as I stated in my last video, he's a billionaire worth just over $5 billion. He owns the Virgin Group, which is comprised of over 400 companies, one of which includes an airline. If you remember Virgin Records, he was that was another one of the companies. He owns 2 islands, one of which is called Necker Island, which is, I think, his main island. It's where he stays and he invites all his friends and stuff like that. He actually lives on the island. A couple more things. He's considered one of the more rambunctious billionaires of the world. And that's because throughout his life he's done some pretty crazy things. He's risked his life over and over again, but that all goes along with his personality. So he's the kind of guy that live every day to the fullest and have no regrets when it's over, and we'll talk more about that here in a moment. So some of the crazy things he's done. He raced the blue ribbon twice. They capsized the boat the first time, but the second time, during the Atlantic crossing, they actually beat the world record by 2 hours. So that one he actually accomplished. That's a world record. The second one is a hot air balloon crossing the Pacific, 6,700 miles with a top speed of 245 miles per hour. So that's another one of his records. This is the book, sorry. So the guy is pretty awesome. I mean, I think he's like in his late 60s, early 70s or something like that. He's getting up there in age, but he still, is always on the news. He's always, people are always talking about him. He's just every day, 100%, nonstop, ever since he was a kid. I think when he was like 15 or 16, he started his first business. He started a magazine at school. And the school owned it, I think, and then they carried on, and things didn't go the way he wanted them to, or somebody tried to take over. The school, was holding him back. So he actually left and started his own magazine, which did even better. I mean, him and his partner, they spent 2 years sending out letters and calling celebrities and trying to sell space in their magazine. And after 2 years, they got their first purchase. And they actually started getting responses, and all that hard work and effort paid off. And that was just his first business, and from there he's just been taking off. Some more things, or some of the lessons from this book. I'm not going to cover all the lessons. I just want to highlight a few, some of my favorites, and I'm just going to kind of give them to you. I'm not going to go too in depth. This is a small book, quick review. It's an easy read, so I encourage anyone who can read it. I encourage you to read it. I give it, I would say 4 out of 5 stars, just because somebody like Richard Branson, you really want more details in a book, but obviously, as you can see, he kept the details short, and he was kind of more to the point. But one of his main things is, no matter what you're doing, no matter where you're at, he says to have fun. So if you're in a job that you don't like, his whole thing is try to take that job and try to make it fun. And if you can't make it fun, and you struggle, and you try and you can't, there's no fun to be had, then it's time to leave that job and move on to something else where you can have fun. If you're not having fun in your job or in your daily life, it's time to change things up. That's one of his big points. Be honest and conduct good business. Basically, this is another one of the big points throughout the book. He just talks about being honest in your dealings, and not lying, and not trying to get ahead by cheating and things like that. Just to do things right, and just like the first point, money and the success will come as long as you're being honest and you're doing right by others. Make every second count, no regrets. We talked about that with his world records and his balloon attempts. And I don't think I told you guys this, but in some of those balloon crossings that he did, he actually ended up almost dying, getting swept away by hurricane winds and just super bad situations. He had a friend that actually jumped out into the freezing cold waters And as soon as his friend jumped out, because of the loss of the weight, the balloon took back off into the atmosphere at unprecedented speeds. He got carried really far away before he was rescued. So some really, some really death-defying stuff from this guy. Another thing is, always think about what you can do to help. So you always keep in mind what you can do to make the world a better place, what you can do to help others, and not to be so selfish all the time about your endeavors and your exploits. Another thing is stand on your own 2 feet. And there's a couple of stories, actually. I'll give you one of them, and I'll save the other one. So one of his big stories in here, he talks about is with his mom. So his dad was always working, and his dad was very successful, but he says he learned most of his lessons from his mom about business and about life. So one day they're coming home from the market or something like that, and he's a young kid, and his mom stops the car and next to a large field, and she tells him, she says, our house is right that direction, but across 5 or 6 very large fields or something like that. And he's just a little kid. And she tells him to get out of the car and find his own way home. So he gets out of the car and she drives off. So from a very young age, he was really pushed to think for himself and to survive on his own and to figure it out. So probably has a huge contribution to why he became the person that he is today. So if you could pick this book up, it's I don't remember what I paid for it, probably like $3 or $4. Super cheap book, super easy to get. I got most of my books off Amazon, so if you can pick it up, grab it, check it out. It's pretty awesome. So today's Friday. Over the weekend, the book that I have for you guys that we will review on Monday. So we have another finance type book. This is The Millionaire Next Door. This book was awesome. I think it is actually co-authored. Yes, so 2 authors, Thomas J. Stanley and William D. Danko. So 2 PhDs. The Millionaire Next Door. This book it's awesome. So if you could pick this one up, this one I paid a little bit more for. I think I paid full retail because I bought it brand new, like $20 or something like that. But this is the book we'll be reviewing come Monday. So if you can grab this one, check it out. If not, just come back Monday. I'll post the video and I'll tell you everything you need to know anyway. So that's that for that one. Hope you guys enjoy my second video. Working pretty hard to get these put up. So please subscribe, like, any kind of comments, any type of book recommendations. I'm not afraid of anything. So I like finance type books. I like books, that have to do with extraordinary people who've lived extraordinary lives. Those are my favorite. But any kind of book you guys want to recommend, you want me to read, go ahead and leave a comment below. I'll read all the comments. I'll try to respond to everything, and then we'll do that. All right, guys. Thanks for watching the video.